Hi, welcome to Our Math. Today I'm doing a series of videos on solving systems of equations with a matrix. So what I want to do first is I want to take this system and write it as a matrix. To write it as a matrix, I write the numbers that correspond to my equation. So my first equation, I have a 2/3, I have a 1, and I have a 7. For my second equation, I have a 10/3, I have a 5, and I have an 11. To make this a matrix, I need to put brackets around my numbers, and I have a matrix. But what we do when we have a system is we represent the equal sign with a line, and now we call this an augmented matrix because we've augmented it a little. Okay, what I want to do is I want to make an identity matrix. I want this to be a 1, and this to be a 1, and these two to be zeros, and then I'll know x equals a number and y equals a number. That's our goal when we're doing this. So what I'm going to do first is I notice that this is a 10 and this is a 2. I know they both have 3's below, but that doesn't really matter because it's a fraction, and when we multiply and add, we're just manipulating the numerator. So if I take 5 times row 1 and subtract row 2 from that, I should be able to zero out this fraction without doing too much work to eliminate my fractions. Okay, so I'm going to start by writing out what 5 times row 1 is. So 5 times 2/3, the 5 only multiplies to the numerator, otherwise I'm just finding an equivalent fraction. 5 times 2/3 is 10/3. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 7 is 35. All right, now we want to do -1 times row 2. That way we can add down and have better success throughout the process. All right, so -1 times 10/3, that's a -10/3. -1 times 5, that's a -5. -1 times 11 is a -11. We add down, we get 0, 0, 24, which leads us to 2/3, 1, 7, 0, 0, 24. Okay, so this is what's happening. This row is equivalent to 0 equaling 24. That's false. And when we have something that's false, that means that there is no solution. If we had a full row of zeros, that would be a whole other situation. We'll talk about that later in this playlist. I talk about how to deal with the infinite solutions, and we'll do it parametrically. But when we have this row that is false, we have to stop and just say, nope, it doesn't work. All right, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, like my Facebook page, and I will see you on the next video. Thanks.